Good evening. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first live uh, get together tonight. So we're just going to hang about for a little minute and see if we've got a few people joining us. And so we can get on and talk about some pretty important topics and hopefully get a little bit of feedback from you guys if you're interested in joining in, that is. So we'll just sit for a minute and just see if we get a few people coming on. Still really, really hot tonight, and there's probably a lot of people just trying to stay cool all over the state and in other states. So we're just trying to do what we can to stay cool. All right. Well, I won't keep you all waiting too long for those who get to watch this after we go live tonight. Those big long pauses can be a little bit awkward, a little bit long in the tooth. So I'll get started. And we've got a few people looking like they're coming on, so I will wait just another couple of minutes. A little awkward sitting here looking at myself. Okay. All right. We've got a couple joining us now, so welcome, guys. Hope you're all settled in and a little comfy on this warm evening. Hi, girls. How you going? Awesome. All right, that's great. We're just going to wait a couple of minutes, hopefully. Well, not that long. We'll just wait a few more seconds and see if we've got a couple more joining us, if that's okay. Sit there wiping the brow because it's still that hot. All right. I think we'll get started because it's bang on 7:30, and anyone that wants to watch this later can. Obviously, you can just press the button and have a little listen, which is hopefully what we're aiming to do. If we can't join together as a group, then we can watch it at a later date. Hi, Lise. Excellent. All right, well, let's get started. So if you don't know my name, I just go by Rach, nice and easy. I'm a life and mindfulness coach. I love to coach kids and families into being and feeling great about who they are and making really, really good decisions and choices. And my decision to have a live weekly targeting audiences of teenage group is basically because I think that it will be helpful for teenagers to be able to join in just to have a listen, pick up some tips and look at things in a different light perhaps. But I'm also really excited about having some teenagers join us and be able to share some of their stories and ideas and ways, because actually when we get a chance to sit and listen to other people, it can sometimes make things feel a lot better than what they were previous. So I think that, hey Sarah, welcome. This is cool. So basically, we'll get started with being able to join in with comments if you like. If you have any questions at any time, that's also an opportunity for you to type in messages. If you don't want to join in the session, you can always private messages or anything you would like to discuss from week to week. But let's hope we get a beautiful little group together so we can share things and give each other some inspiration and some ideas and some motivations. So tonight, so I was introducing myself, wasn't I? So, life and mindfulness coach for kids and families. Um, if you don't already know, I have 4 children of my own, and never really thought I would be targeting my audience with kids, but I absolutely love working with all age groups. And like I said earlier, at the moment, I'm focusing more on teenagers because I think that there's a lot going on, and with social media and the pressures of school, um, and just getting on, it's a difficult time. But I think there's a lot of ways we can make it easier, and particularly when we have groups like this where we can share and we can get together and we feel safe. It's just an opportunity to reach out and have a chat. So tonight I wanted to talk about self-esteem, what it is, and just some tips on how we can build it. So self-esteem is who you truly are, and we get lost along the way when we follow tribes. And what I mean by that is joining groups or hang out with people that aren't really suiting our natural or our essential core, if you like, which is who we are, and our personality types. And we can get a little lost along the way. And that can make us feel a little uneasy at times and a little bit uncertain about why we feel a certain way and why our friends feel a certain way and where does that leave us. So it's really, really important to stay true to who you are and remind yourself constantly. And I know that that's not an easy thing to do when you're growing up and you've got a lot of pressure on yourself to succeed or to achieve, to keep people happy, i.e. teachers and family and friends. You tend to seem to put yourself last on the list. So the idea of working on your self-esteem is a reminder, and it's a nice, good, constant reminder of who you truly are. What motivates you? What inspires you? What are the things that make you feel good? And the thing is, when you start focusing on these values, not only will you benefit yourself, but other people will notice exactly the things that are happening for you and things that are changing for you. Um, and I think that that's really important because apart from looking out for who you are, you're showing other people and you're becoming a leader and a role model in such a positive way. So, building on your self-esteem, or sorry, building your self-esteem is ultimately about working on yourself and your personal development. And that's something that we don't often allow enough time for because there really isn't a lot of time by the time we get to school, get home, do our homework. Some of us may even have part-time jobs, things that need to be done at home and your responsibilities there. Often we get caught up in our social media world. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all these different platforms which do have a place in our world, and we can't deny that. It's important. It's part of who we are now as a community. It's how we do lots of things like tonight, for example, which is amazing, right? So there are some fantastic benefits of these platforms. However, what we need to remember is that we have to have balance in our life, and we're only going to get that when we decide that we are just as important as these other things that we're contributing to, these other factors that are taking up a lot of our time. So basically, I want you guys to remember that taking some time out for yourself is really, really important. It's going to contribute to those values. It's going to continue reminding you of who you are and what it is that makes you feel good. So while I'm gasbagging on here, I'm wondering if anyone might have a notepad and a pen handy, and if not, don't worry. Next week when we get together again, it'd be great if you bring along something you can jot some things down. Perhaps there's some little tips along the way that you might find valuable, which is obviously I'm hoping that might be the case. But if you have a pen and paper handy tonight, that would be great just to jot down a few things. What I wanted to ask you as a group, and if you're happy to type in any questions or answers, that's great. Or if not, you just might like to sit there and think about it for a little minute. Things like what makes you feel good. If you do have a pen and paper, if you want to jot down something that makes you feel really good, that could be anything from something that you have an interest in, a hobby. You might like to read, you might like to sing in the shower really loud. It doesn't have to be something that other people are going to be interested in. It's simply what makes you feel good. I know I love singing out loud. That makes me feel pretty good. The rest of the household doesn't agree and they don't like it, but that's okay. It's not about them when I'm enjoying it, and letting those notes fly high. Hey, Angie, welcome. So, hey, Jules, thank you, honey. So basically, if you've got an opportunity to write down things that make you feel good, when you're feeling those feelings, you don't have, there's no place for you to feel anything other than good, right? Hi, Lisa. Welcome. So the whole idea of coming into that place where you can just sit down and write down things that are making you feel good, what it does for us is it releases that feel good hormone. So we're writing it, we're feeling it, we're reliving it, we're experiencing it. So writing, journaling, jotting down, you don't have to be a big writer, but just jotting down a few things daily. Really great tip is to do it at the end of the day before you go into bed. And I don't know what everybody's routines are like, but I would probably take a guess that most of us are on Facebook or some form of social media before we go to bed. And, you know, whatever we last read or we were last engaged in is what the subconscious mind is going to go to sleep with. So, really fantastic opportunity here for you guys to maybe get into a little routine where you can have your little notepad and pen close by at night after you finish doing what you're doing, and just writing down a couple of things that were great for you during the day. Something that it doesn't have to be, again, anything substantial. We're not writing a list to impress anybody. All we want to do is write down something that reflect on your day, something that made you feel good. It could be someone said something nice to you. You could have done something nice to someone else. You simply could have read a really great passage or an affirmation or something that really inspired you and gave you those goosebumps. Anything at all, just a second that made you feel good. Because when you relive that, that's when you get those feel good hormones again. That's called building on your self-esteem. It's making you feel bigger, better, more confident, and releasing those feel good hormones. So there's a little tip for you guys. If you want to take that little exercise on for the week, don't feel like next week I'll be upset if you don't. It's simply just a suggestion, and I think you will love it. I think you'll love the way it makes you feel. The other thing I wanted to sort of touch on tonight is bringing to your attention how unique we all are, and I think that's really, really important. That at this time in your life when things are challenging, and they are for all of us at different ages that we go through, but particularly in your teenage years, there are a lot of challenges, and we do start self-doubting, and we start looking at ourselves and comparing ourselves, and rather than embracing our uniqueness and really enjoying that, we pick on ourselves and we judge ourselves, and we really, really are our own worst critic. Correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to write down anything if you think that that's different for you. Hi, Lisa. Thank you. Hi, Rebecca. It's so great to have you all join us tonight. Just if you've only just joined us, we've just touched on basically what self-esteem is, and that it is who you truly are, and we're talking about ways to make ourselves feel good. The tip for this week is to grab a piece of paper and a pen or a booklet and have it handy each night to write down the things that have made you feel good during the day. Hopefully there's a couple of good things in there. Now we're talking about our uniqueness and what it is that makes us different. That's another great thing to jot down. Really embrace it. Write it down. Write down the things you like about yourself. Let's not worry about the things that create us, even let's use the word anxiety, because it's a real situation that a lot of people experience, and particularly when you start experiencing anxiety and you're not quite sure what it is, it can be really, really overwhelming and it can be breathtaking. So at that time, we want to remind ourselves of the things that are making us feel good and that we do like about ourselves rather than being harsh and judging ourselves further. So that's another little great thing that I'd love for you guys to perhaps write down at the end of the day under your under your little lists of what you're grateful for or the good things that have happened to you. And don't, oh, that's another thing, not to judge. You know, you might have a day where there's a lot of great things and you might have a day where you're struggling a tad, but not to worry about that. The most important thing is to find that good thing and really enjoy those moments that you've got and embrace the differences in yourself. And you might even spend a few minutes on, noticing differences in your friends. And I think at that time, that can also be a really good moment for you to understand whether you are attracted to the right people, if that tribe that you are with at school is the right tribe for you. These great things come to us when we're taking a little bit more care about ourselves and we're taking the time to invest in ourselves and stop looking outward all the time. In terms of what I mean by that is, rather than comparing ourselves in groups of people, when you look at yourself more and you're loving yourself more, you've got a lot more clarity about who you are. You're a lot more confident about who you are. And that can only be a benefit to you immediately and in the long run. The quicker we learn all these little self tips, the quicker we feel we're coping better, and we've got a lot more ability to stand up for what we think in a really controlled manner without it getting to the point of we're feeling anxious. I'm not sure whether I should say that. I'm not sure that I'm going to be accepted. I'm concerned that if I say these things or point these things out, perhaps I'm going to be judged for it or criticized for it. So, again, all these little steps are just about ways to make you feel good about who you are. Staying true to yourself, so important, guys. It really is. If I can give that message now at my age, and what I've lived through and the struggles that I've had from personally on my own self-esteem, if you like, and my own self-worth, it would be that. It would really be that top of your list. Stay true to who you are. You're going to live, you're going to learn, you're going to experience things. You're going to have times where things are going to be harder than other times and you may feel a little lost. The more you are able to tune into who you are, the more capable you're going to be of knowing who you are. So hopefully there's a couple of little tips there for you guys that you've maybe been able to write down tonight. But stay true to your uniqueness and embrace it. Others will love you for it. Trust me. You will put off people know and feel other people's energies. They can when you're in a group, maybe do this little exercise for me during the week. I know you're all heading back to school next week, and it's going to be a big week for some of you, even some that are starting high school. There's some big changes coming on, but maybe you might like to just suss out your tribe that you're attracted to. Notice what it is you're attracted to, feel the energy around it, and really make some good choices. You can do that by being more present. What I mean by that is, I know it's going to be exciting, there's going to be a lot happening for you, but if you can stay in the moment more so than get ahead of yourself, you'll be able to make better decisions. Take that deep breath when you need it. Take a second just to have a look around you and make a good decision about who you're attracted to and why. And hopefully that will make the beginning of your new school year a little easier. Some of you are going to be joining old friends. Some of you are making new friends. So there's a lot going on, and by these few little tips tonight, what I mean by that is staying true to yourself, remembering your authenticity, your uniqueness, jotting down things that make you feel good. Stay on top of it. Really aim big for you. This is your life. This is about you. The quality you bring by taking responsibility to your own life will be amazing, and that's exciting. I get excited just talking about it. So basically, don't give up on persisting with who you are, and stay true to all those little tips tonight. Has anybody got anything they want to ask in the comment section while we've got a few that have joined us tonight? Hi, Sarah. If not, it's not a problem. Like I said earlier, I'm happy to talk. I can talk forever, like any of you that know me well enough. I don't have a problem holding a conversation with myself looking into the video. All right. Well, if there's no questions, that's absolutely fine. This is our first time we've actually joined in a live, and if you joined in a little later on in the conversation, I just wanted to let you know that I'd love to set aside this time slot every Thursday night. So feel free to spread the word and have others join us and listen to different tips each week. And in the meantime, during the week, if there is anything in particular you would really love to discuss or would love a little bit of support on or a little bit of guidance on, just message me. It would be absolutely my honor to discuss different things with you guys, because I really enjoy bringing what I know and what I've learned and what I'm passionate about to a group of people that are interested. And look, we can only help each other by doing this sort of thing and becoming a bit of a support network and a bit of guidance. So let everybody know, and we will get on to continuing being together. There's different things I'd like to show you guys over the next coming weeks. When we get a little bit more of a group together, I'd like to even offer a bit of a meditation at some point where we can take you through, where I can take you through a guided meditation. But let's just take 1 week at a time. And this week I would like you guys to remember, or my little tip for you is to always stay true to who you are. And let's start your new school year with a really positive, excited energy about it's going to be a great year, guys. I know that there's been ups and downs until this time, but this year is all about moving forward. It doesn't matter what year you're going into at school. It doesn't matter what happened last year. You might want to take that on board. Last year's in the past. Fresh opportunities, new beginnings, new opportunities, lots and lots of great energy and beautiful people around us. We have the opportunity to be live on Facebook where we can connect different states, even different countries. The opportunities are huge. So I'd love to share that with you guys and really embrace what we can do together as a group. And welcome to our little group here tonight. And thank you so much for coming on board. What else did I wanted to tell you? Sorry, there was one other thing. I think I mentioned it earlier about persisting. So that was really, I've got some notes here. I do take notes and I do write down my little tips and guidelines, but sometimes I get off track because there's some exciting things to say to you guys. But anyway, oh, thank you, Lisa. I'm going to miss you too. That's really sweet. That's my daughter's teacher, that we have beautiful connection. It's so nice that we've got this opportunity where we can still do these sorts of things and stay in contact. So basically, sorry, back to being persistent with who you are. And when you're persisting with that type of thing about staying true to yourself and who you are, you get a feeling that can sometimes be overwhelming because it's so true to who and what you need to do for yourself. So it's all about feeling love and kindness. Try to stay on that track, guys. Try and do more of those things. When things are getting a little tough for you, you've got some challenges, just remember what you put your thought and energy into is what you're going to get back. That will resonate with you over time. It will develop. So be patient. But the key to that is be persistent. Be creative and be persistent. Don't just take things off the chin and just accept it. If it's not sitting well with you, it's not sitting well with you for a really good reason. So maybe look into it a little bit more, and persistence does pay off. So choose what you're going to dedicate yourself to. Choose what you're going to persist with. And the outcomes will definitely be in your favor. It's the law of attraction. What you're putting out, you will get back. So remember that, and it's not a bad thing. It's all it's all about being positive. The more you can give that love for yourself, the more you're going to get it back from others, and just in your environment, just the things that you will choose to do, it'll come back to you tenfold. So there's a couple of tips for you tonight, guys. If I'll just wait on just a second. If anybody has a question before we go, feel free to type it in, and I'll do my best to answer it. And thank you to all the parents who have come in tonight. I'm not sure if they're your children on your Facebook page, or if you're listening as parents and children together, which is pretty awesome to be able to share some of this information together and learn together. And that's what it's all about, bringing some good stuff into our family homes where we can share it with each other and lift the vibration of everybody. We're not all going to have great days. We're not all going to be feeling like we're on top of everything all the time. So, you know, when you live in a house or household with other people, it's so nice to be able to just prompt each other from time to time and remind each other of what we can do to make ourselves feel better, and how we can help one another, and how we can get out of those low times and tune in together. So there's so there's a few little tips there, but oh, I love you, Lise. Well, it doesn't seem like there's any questions, but thank you so very much for joining me, and I'm really, really excited about continuing on next week, and we'll be back here 7:30 Queensland time. I'm glad thank you to all the New South Wales people who remembered that you're an hour ahead of us. Spread the word. Let's get a few more people in on this conversation with us, and we can have good conversations in the next few weeks to come. All right, guys, if there's nothing else, have a beautiful evening. Stay cool. Still really hot here. And thank you very, very much. I look forward to seeing you next week if I don't hear from you sooner. Bye for now. Thank you.